Gandang araw ulit mga ka-JSS at nandito pa rin tayo sa Dubai at salamat ulit sa time at nagpagkakalob niyo sa amin. So nandito tayo ngayon upang makasama ang isang ating kababayan na talaga namang sobrang daming ginagawa sa kanyang negosyo at talaga nakaka-proud din bilang isang Pilipino. At ngayon makakasama natin si Ate
Janice Guzman.
Janice Guzman, which is may pag-aari siya ng consultancy, one-stop ika nga sa mga maliliis na negosyante dito sa Dubai. Ma'am, maraming salamat. Last minute at nandito kayo. Ito yung isang tinatawag ko sa Pilipino bayanihan na andyan lang tayo pagkakailangan, di ba? So, sa amin may isang cancellation, but then nandiyan kayo, isang message lang ng kapwa Pilipino at kababayan natin. Nandito kayo kagad. In less than 2 hours. Nakakabilib, di ba? So, sobrang salamat.
It's our pleasure po. It's my pleasure to be here, an opportunity for me to also share my story also to our OFWs around the world with your platform.
Okay. So, I'm so grateful for that and honored to be interviewed, ma'am. So, umpisa natin. Yung sa amin, lagi nagsisimula sa childhood. Gusto ko lang malaman yung pagkabata. Anong pangarap nyo? At sang lugar kayo lumaki? At ano yung mga naalala yung memories ng bata kayo?
Well, nung kabataan ko, nakatira kami sa Marikina. Sa Metro Manila. And then, it's a typical family na hindi masyadong mahirap, hindi masyadong mayaman. But I would say na my parent is really hardworking. My only the father is working at that time sa Pure Foods Corporation in Marikina, factory, as a storekeeper. And my mother is a housewife. Siya lang yung nag-aalaga sa amin, tatlong magkakapatid. So we studied in elementary school, was public school, and also we studied sa high school, Marikina Science High School.
Nagkolehiyo kayo? University?
Marikina Science High School, before MIST. The Science Technology School we're in, lahat ng mga bata doon is mga talino, scholar ng bayan. So, from there, nag-start talaga ako na mag-aral na mabuti. And then, nagkaroon ako ng magandang opportunity sa Dominican College to graduate HRM as cum laude. So, talagang pinagpaguran mo talaga yung aking pag-aaral kasi gusto kong maibalik sa mga magulang ko yung paghihirap nila.
Grabe.
Kasi like I said, hindi kami mayaman. So, yung aking mga magulang, talagang everyday, I can see them that they are really, really trying hard to work for our financial, requirements ng pamilya. And one time, may yung aking father is nabaon sa utang na. Ay, diba, mga ganyan. So, every now and then yung bangko tumatawag sa kanya para kuhain yung mga pera, mga inutang niya. Wala siyang alam kung paano niya yun ibabalik. So, when I saw that in them, talagang nakita ko talaga na grabe silang magtrabaho para sa amin. So, kinakailangan ako bilang anak, ibalik ko sa kanila yung para bang reward ba? Na makita yung kanila alam na natapos sa pag-aaral ng college. At the same time, they are being honored also dahil ako ay merong honor as a student.
So, I'm sure they are so proud of you.
Yes, I'm sure of that. And until now, so I'm always supporting them in whatever they need. So we are 3 siblings. My other sister is in Canada, yung panganay. O tinanong sa kanya ngayon. My brother naman also is here with me in Dubai, also working in one of the biggest company in here, MR Property. So I was from MR actually previously, and then before I left the company, I made sure na yung kapatid ko naman ang
Take over.
Ibang department, but at least he will be there to continue my legacy in MR Properties as well. So yeah, until now, of course, we are supporting our parents, and then they are planning to be here by next year on vacation, but
Pero home pa rin nasa Philippines.
Philippines pa rin ang home nila, but every now and then, like once in a year or every 2 years, they come here, which they are already like 73 years old. Sometimes hindi na masyadong okay yung kanilang pangangatawan. So, depende sa kanilang kalusugan if they can come here or no. But I'm always here for them to support their medical, they needs nila sa bahay. So, I'm the breadwinner of the family. Since I'm the only one who's having 1 child, and my brother has 4 children, my sister has 3 children. So, in terms of siguro sabihin natin capacity to assist the parent, it's me who's really assisting my parents at the moment. But of course, I love to support them, knowing that they have given all of their their strength for all of us.
Galing. Sobrang nakikita ko very sobrang mahal na mahal niyo yung pamilya niyo.
Of course, lahat po kami.
Galing. Ma'am, balikan lang natin doon sa anong pangarap ng bata kayo?
Yung pangarap ko ng bata ako, actually, wala naman akong masyadong na pangarap talaga. Typical, siguro I want to become a doctor. Until college days, I never had a dream of whatever I'm gonna get In fact, nuha ko yung HRM, Hotel Restaurant Management, without even thinking na yun talaga yung gusto ko. I really want to become a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Because I'm an animal lover ako. Both cats and dogs. I love to take care of them. So I really want to become a doctor ng mga animals. So
Okay.
my parents is not capable to give me the financial support that time. So they told me we cannot because doctor is a little bit, costly. Pero yun nga, na-shift na lang ako into HRM, which is yung kasi yung kinuha ng mga cousins ko.
So parang na-influencehan lang kayo ng pinsan niyo. But then it was a second option.
Yes,
It wasn't.
Sean. But it progresses. In fact, kahit nag-graduate ako with honors, it never gave me opportunity to become a part of hotelier.
Galing.
Hindi ako naging hotelier.
Okay.
It shifted me to a different direction.
Okay.
So when I graduated from college, I had an opportunity to work with a Korean company which is having their like machinery as sales rep. And then I'm talking to banks to sell the banknote machines, something machineries that they are offering from Germany, also from Korea. And then I'm talking to every single bank cash department to offer our machine. So that's how I started my work, more on sales. On
Okay.
sales siya.
So ano yung naging advantage bilang isang cum laude? Kasi usually, di ba, yung mga companies na malalaki, pagka nakita na sa dyaryo at lumabas na yan, kayo yung nilalapitan. Ano yung naging advantage sa'yo ng being isang cum laude sa...
Siguro in terms of, in administrative, meron siyang advantage. But since I took hotel at hotel management, ang aking disadvantage naman is maliit ako. Kasi 'di ba sa Pilipinas, medyo may konting di ba? Still
Iba, parang sa akin,
comparison
Yeah,
na
yeah.
ang gusto nila kapag HR course sa front desk ka, dapat matangkad ka, mayroong height requirement, and then they want to have experience first bago mo yun. So I can consider like only as a waitress there sa hotel or sa mga restaurant or in the other mga housekeeping ganyan. But if I want to be in the front desk, hindi ko siya na-achieve. So ako naman bilang I'm more on a back office person eh. I want to use my brain in doing admin things. So yun yung aking forte until now. So but actually it diverted me to a good way. Because after I had my job dun sa sales, I also had an opportunity to work with Emerson Climate Technologies, wherein they also hired me as inside sales representative.
Okay, was it the first job?
No, it's a second job, but that second job gave me a lot of opportunities to travel abroad also. That's the first time I traveled in the USA.
Okay.
That I was like 21 years old back then when
Okay.
I traveled.
So that was the first job na nagpadala sa ibang bansa o second job?
Second job.
So what is the first job?
The first job is in Korean company. It's Yumsung, which is selling the machines in the bags.
Which is ikaw yung nasa sales. Ilang taong ka dito nagtrabaho?
Around 1.5 years.
Okay.
1.5 years.
Pinakamagandang, obviously first job, marami tayong natututunan at minsan nagiging parte na kung nasa saan ka ngayon. Kung may napulot kang aral sa isang taon na pagtatrabaho sa sales, ano yung isang, kumaga naging weapon mo para mas mag-grow ka pa as a business person na ngayon, di ba? Ano yun?
It's more on talking to the people and then building a trust to the people. That's how I actually learned sales
Okay.
until now. So if you talk to the people with sincerity, with integrity also, they will trust you. So I mold myself before. Now when I was in sales, I made sure na every single information I'm going to convey to the manager or the person there in the banks or wherever, it should be a correct information. I should communicate to them clearly what is the right info of the product
Okay.
for me to sell it.
Absolutely.
So, and then from there, they trust me, and then we had a continuous communication, and then I am building rapport with every single person I'm talking. So I think it's one of the gifts. I think I could say that whenever I talk to a person, I can be able to easily, get some connection, can rapport to them.
Which is very important, di ba? Sa sales at sa negosyante ngayon, sa tingin ko, ang isa tama, sinasabi mo. At totally 100% agree. Transparency and yung credibility mo dapat talaga pag ninegosyo ka, hindi dapat masira yan. Di ba? Tsaka yung trust. Oo. So, napakaganda ng sagot dun sa tanong. Dun sa, bukod sa sinasabi mo ngayon, after ng 1 year and half dito sa trabaho mo, nagkaroon ka ng pangalawang pagkakataon corporate, which is dito, management na to, hindi pa?
It is corporate inside sales.
Sa sales pa rin?
Sales pa rin siya. And so what we do is we actually it's engineering. Nakakatuwa kasi they hired me for a technical job, but even though I'm not an engineer, but basically the job is for technicians or for engineers who are doing condensing units and like compressors of the refrigeration system.
Okay.
There is 2 roles wherein I applied for that one. Actually, only one role, CSR, Customer Service Representative. This is American-based company, big company in ISO, US, and then it's called Emerson Climate Technologies. But instead of hiring me as CSR, Customer Service Rep, they hired me as inside sales rep. Because I had the previous experience in the machines there, and it's the same also machines also we are dealing with Emerson as well. Nakatulong siya
Ang galing.
in a way. So, pero wala akong idea bakit nangyari yun. Kasi hindi naman ako engineer in the first place. So, parang ang nangyari lang there, same thing, communicate. So, they trusted my words. When they had an interview with me, I thought they're going to put me in CSR position. But they saw me potential, even though hindi ako engineer, na as inside technical sales support, parang ganyan siya. But those people who have hired there, kung siya engineer, ako lang yung butang hindi engineer. Particular that.
Kaya nga, layo. Pero parang HRM, tapos unang trabaho sa sales, pangalawang trabaho sa sales pa rin. Engineering, which is parang ang layo talaga. Kung naalala mo yung unang sweldo mo, doon sa unang trabaho mo,
Ako,
magkano to?
9,000 pesos
Per month,
per month.
which is not bad. Oo.
As a start.
Okay.
Actually, I did a couple of months, like, mincho OJT, a typical temporary job lang, like 6 months, 7 months. Semicon sales din siya, telephone, sa SM Mega Mall. Nagbabanta ka ng mga mobile phones, ng mga high-end mobile phones sa Semicon sa SM Mega Mall. And then 6 months only, like, training ground for me. Then I shifted to this Korean company for the machines. Then after 1.5 years, I got hired naman sa US company naman sa Emerson. And I stayed there for 2 years until the time I had the opportunity here in Dubai to work for a company in construction.
Galing. Paano dumating yung opportunity na sabi mo nga hindi ka naman nangarap mag-abroad that time? So paano nagkaroon ng opportunity na, so after the second job, Dubai na ba? Ang transition na?
Dubai na.
Ang galing. So third job is pretty much is papunta ng Dubai. So kwento mo lang, tell us about the Dubai.
Actually, I don't have plans, but I have a best friend who went here because of her boyfriend. So, yun. Si best friend ko is female, of course. And then, we were together for like, since prep pa lang kami. Prep. So, ang nangyari is, her boyfriend took her here and then hindi niya ako maiwanan sa Pilipinas. Gusto niya lagi magkasama kasi we're kapitbahay. We're schoolmates and we're kapitbahay kaming dalawa. So parang na kami, para kami dikit ng dalawa.
Okay, single ka pa nun?
Single pa ka nun. So, but yun nga, after 6 months na nagpunta siya ng Dubai, si best friend ko, siya naman ako sumunod sa kanya kasi there's an opening in her company, which is yung first company ko here in the UAE, which is Moshel. Okay. The developer is the Nakil, and then we are doing the consultancy of the projects of the master plan for big development here in the UAE, which is twice the size of Hong Kong.
Okay.
That particular time, the developer is one of the top developer here in the UAE, and then we are the one doing the design part, and I was hired as document control.
So magkasama kayo ng best friend?
Magkasama kami ni best friend. So when I went here, only after 2 weeks, I got the job.
Okay.
So when they interviewed me, the following day, I already started working.
Okay.
So because there's an opportunity, so might as well take it. So it's not really difficult for me to find a job in here kasi nga meron akong backup sa loob ng kumpanya.
Okay.
That time, the Dubai is just developing. Hindi pa siya ganun ka-boom. Okay. So most of the people coming here are just being given a work. Okay. So kung anong trabaho,
ang daming opportunity, kumbaga.
Yes.
Sobrang bilis maghanap na.
So it's like there's a lot of opportunity and you are few, scarce in manpower. So whoever is applicable or available or qualified to do the job, you can do the job.
Ang galing.
So ganun po yung nangyari.
So in terms of obviously first time malalayo sa family, sa parents, kasi single, wala namang naiwang anak, wala rin naiwang asawa. So anong pakiramdam ng isang anak na nasa abroad na maiiwan yung pamilya sa Pilipinas?
Siyempre masakit. Pero it's not the first time kasi I went to US for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ata yun eh. So kumbaga, first travel ko is US.
That was part of the job.
Part of the job. And then, but they never thought that I'm going to be like a living for good na, for work in Dubai. But sabi ko, kailangan natin gawin to. Kailangan ko siyang gawin kasi kailangan kong iangat yung buhay ng pamilya. So, parang meron akong pangarap para sa amin na talagang kapag pagawa ng bahay. That time kasi ang aming bahay, bungalow lang siya, maliit lang siya. And then, at least after a couple of years na I was here in Dubai working, nakatulong siya to fix the house, to renovate it. And then, nakatulong sa mga bayarin ng utang ng father kasi, yun nga, yung after ng aming graduation, marami pa siya mga utang na kinakailangan pang bayaran. So, kahit pa paano, makatulong talaga siya para makabigay sa pamilya at baka
Sobrang bait na bata. Galing.
But that time, my salary was like 3,000 dirhams only, which is in the Philippines is already good in terms of
Kasi you're earning 9,000, di ba? So, magkano 3,000?
3,000 dirham is approximately that time around 45.
Oh, it's just, it's about parang
Ideal already
Oo.
and be able
4
to
times better
Yeah,
than what you're earning in the
correct. 3
Philippines.
times better than my salary. No, but sorry. In my first company, 9,000 dirhams. But in my second company in Emerson, it was 15, then 20. So it was increased like that. So kasi
Bilis.
iba kasi Emerson is different company. It's a bigger company, so they offered a bigger salary. So that's why I jumped from 9 to Emerson also.
Pinaka-challenging part ng buhay mo sa Dubai?
Challenging part sa Dubai.
Ang early stage mo?
Early stage, actually, the early stage, the first 3 to 4 years of Dubai is very, very good career-wise.
Yeah.
Because every year, after I left the company,
The first one.
the first one, there's a recession actually. And then we don't have a choice but to have to look for other company kasi yun talaga yung kinakailangan gawin. Kasi 2000
Na-redundant kayo doon sa
Yes,
first company?
first company, we were redundant, but I'm the last 50 standing na hindi pa nila tinanggal because I'm doing most of the work sa admin and sa HR as well. So most of the confidential work I'm handling because I'm the PA of the business unit director.
Okay.
So that particular time, when walang talagang choice but to move to other company or to resign, I got an opportunity with MR.
Okay.
So they gave me same salary.
So the MR is another company? Was it
Another
this-
big company, which is
In Dubai.
in Dubai, who have done the Burj Khalifa, the Dubai Mall.
So this is more kind of constructions company?
It's a
Development company.
development company
Like that.
who did all the properties, malls, also entertainment as well, and multiple properties here.
Around how many Filipinos is ang involved na maging empleyado na nakatrabaho mo? Dami, di ba?
Madami. Kasi most of the admins, PAs also, and like yung mga junior middle persons sa MR are Filipinos.
Right.
Because Filipino is a different worker. We are quality-wise, most of the companies here in Dubai, they are really rooting for the Filipinos and then they are hiring Filipinos more than other nationality because of the quality of the work.
Pero
How they trust us.
this is not sales anymore. This is more on admin work. This is the managerial.
Admin. I started with Moshel first, yung first company as the
Yeah.
admin controller. So and then after 6 months, they saw my potential. So I was promoted to BA of the business unit director. And then since it's recession, so we don't have a choice. So I ended as a PA to the director. But when I got to MR, they offered me secretary, which is one downgrade of my position
Galing.
of the other company. So one downgrade, it's okay. It's kumbaga from PA to secretary, pareho lang siya ng work, but
Yeah, yeah.
position-wise, it's gonna be the same, but salary is the same. So, but after 1 year or 1.5 year, my boss also promoted me as a PA as well, because she got CEO position from GM position. So she also brought me to her as her PA, and then inappointed niya ako as a PA from secretary to PA. After several years also, she became CEO alongside with me, helping her, supporting her. So she again appointed me as executive PA / office manager as well. So
Gaano kasarap magtrabaho bilang, obviously, ang pinakamaganda na trabaho kasi yung mas malapit ka sa CEO. Ang daming matututunan, correct? Bilang isang empleyado that time, na nandun ka na sa taas na talagang ikaw nagre-report sa CEO, ano yung mga kumbaga masasabi mong part ng success mo ngayon na natutunan mo sa kanila? Kasi definitely, ang dami yung mga trials, ikaw yung nakakarinig ng mga trials nila kung mayroon yan, problema. Parang somehow yung PA talaga yung mas nakakaalam ng mga problema ng companies and everything. Ano yung mga bagay na talagang tumatak at masasabi mong part ng success mo ngayon?
Well, unang sa trustworthiness.
Okay.
Kinakailangan talaga kapag nasa management ka at CEO management ka, you have to be trustworthy and you have to keep everything confidential. Otherwise, you are not part of the job, because the reason why you are there is to keep everything confidential, whether it's a bad information or whether it's against your feelings or whatsoever emotions, you don't have to discuss it to anybody. You have to keep it sacred, only within yourself. And then the challenging part here is sometimes if the other Filipinos cannot understand why you are not giving those information. So challenge eh. So there's Filipinos which is understandable, professional, that they can understand. But there are also some people, not only Filipinos, but other nationality as well. Sometimes if you are like close with them or you are friends with them, they think that you can always share information kahit hindi dapat. So as a PA, I have to always put boundaries because I need to protect the company's interests and their information. At the same time, I have to also put a wall so that the other people cannot be able to, doesn't have any access to the information because hindi naman talaga kailangan malaman yun. So it will just confuse them, or it will just make them anxious. Maybe kung sakasakali malaman nila na ito pala, meron pala termination, meron pala redundancy.
Kasi ikaw yung unang nakakaalam, more or less.
Yes.
Tapos may mga bagay minsan na sinasabi mo na ngayon, confidentiality ng mga subjects minsan na talagang dapat ikaw lang yun.
Yeah, and sometimes they feel a little bit, masama loob kasi bakit we're friends, tapos sabihin mo sa akin, ako pala yung matanggal. So, pero they have to understand that it's a part of the job, which I have signed for this job, confidentiality, so I have to keep it as only within myself.
Galing nun. So, kailan lang dumating yung point na sa tingin mo, maganda naman yung sweldo, maganda na yung trabaho, dumating ba sa point dun sa, ilang taong ka dito ng trabaho?
10 years.
10 years.
11 years. Place kasama yung isa kong, kasama yung 11 years.
So, dun sa 11 years na trabaho mo dito, na kumaga tumataas yung promotion hanggang sa naabot mo na yung yun na nga, nandun ka sa pinakamalapit sa CEO at ikaw nagre-report pay ka, executive things, di ba? Ano yung isang, kumbaga, para sa akin, ang daming challenges niyan in 11 years. Tapos, paano mo na-overcome? Dumating ba sa point na parang, ayoko na? Tell us about that story.
Well, actually, napakagandang kwento nito. Kasi, ang aking role sa aking kumpanya is a very already prime. Nasa peak ako ng prime na career ko eh. And before even I resign, I'm already up for promotion as BDM, Business Development Manager, which is one again higher. And everything is the benefit are very very way good compared to my previous position.
That's another offered opportunity for you.
Correct. But then again, the challenge here is that me and my husband, we're married for 3 years.
Okay.
And until that time, wala pa rin akong anak.
Okay.
Yung nabubuntis. I got all the benefits, family benefits. I have education for my son. I have family, tickets and everything.
Yeah.
But then again, wala naman akong pagamitan no mga yon. I mean, I can only claim that whenever I have a child, for example. So, yun yung biggest challenge sa akin na nangyari. Kasi,
so parang mamimili ka, magpo-focus ka sa magbubuntis ba o sa career?
yes.
So, tama ba? Tama ba?
So the OB told me that for your body is very very stressed because as a PA, ano talaga siya
Very stressful
sobrang
job.
stressful job talaga siya.
So,
You have to always meet the deadlines and the expectations, not only the CEO but the boss of the CEO, which is the higher management.
kaya nga Parang pili ko kasi,
CEO chairman. So yun ang aming level na kinakailangan mong i-attend to. So their stress level is very very high, which impacts my body. So ang nangyari niya, yung katawan ko is nagkaroon siya ng parang stress na factor na hindi na siya pwedeng mag-conceive agad-agad. So I did a lot of medications and even flushing whatsoever that they are asking me to do para lang mabuntis ako.
okay.
But unfortunately, hindi talaga ako nabubuntis. So the OB told me that you have to at least rest for 1 year. And then the only way to do it is to resign. Because even though I'm taking vacation, I'm not free. I'm always using my mobile, my laptop. I have 3 gadgets. I have iPad, I have a laptop, I have 2 mobile phones from the company, which I need to always look every single day,
Okay.
24 hours a day. So, yun po.
So, hindi mahirap yung gagawin mong desisyon, pero kailangan mo magdesisyon
Yes.
na mas pa-priority mo yung magkaroon ka ng baby, correct?
Yes.
So, nandun ka sa top ng pinaka-career mo na talagang ika nga,
Yes.
this is the peak, di ba?
It's the pick and it's the pick and the best career that any kind of people who would really want to have. So yun yung pinagpilian ko. Masyado siyang mahirap para sa akin to decide kasi kailangan ko ba iiba pa aking career, 'di ba? Or kailangan ko bang mag-focus sa pamilya? but I choose to have family.
Yeah, kasi ano option na parang sa akin, parang once na nakalagpas yan, hindi mo na mababalik yung oras eh. So you choose that for the sake of just having a family, right? Diba? So sa akin, ang gusto ko lang kasi malaman in terms of finance, diba? Sa 11 years na pagtatrabaho mo, ano yung mga nakapundar o na-achieve?
Well, kaming mag-asawa, we are very, very good in terms of savings. Kalan. So, kahit na paano, nakakuha kami ng konting savings. And then, that's why I'm also a bit confident to leaving the company for like 1 year to focus on my pregnancy. Kasi I know meron akong konting ipon.
Parang masasabi mo na,
emergency fund.
yeah, which is good. Pagka doon papunta yung tanong ko, di ba, na parang sa akin napaka-importante na mabigat yung gagawin mong decision, but on the other hand, na parang, if I'm gonna resign, hindi pa rin kami magugutom kahit hindi ako magtrabaho ng 1 taon kasi secure kami. Di ba? So, kasi sa akin, big factors yun na bago mo gawin yung isang bagay na dapat buo yun. At least, yun man lang. Yung career, baka may opportunity pa darating. Pero kasi yung time ng pagbe-baby, maring malagpasan.
Maaring hindi mangyari kapag mahadapang sa katawan.
So, okay, 1 year, nabuntes?
Actually, no. After I resigned, we traveled outside the country, and then we enjoyed the time together. Kasi before even I travel, I always have to work.
Yeah.
But like this now, only focusing on travel, enjoying myself with my husband, and then nabuo naman siya. Awa na siya.
Doon sa target na 1 taon.
Target na 1 year na binigay sa akin. So, in fact, after I gave birth, they asked me back. So still, they offered me a job there.
Kaya ka ng anak, balik sa trabaho?
Balik sa trabaho, they wanted me to come back, and then they gave me a very good offer compared to my previous package. Sure. But after 5 months, I still resign.
Okay.
Kasi hindi ko kayang ang hirap that time when I gave birth, I'm breastfeeding, 5 months old pa lang ang anak ko, and then I have to travel to Egypt to other country to do audits and all. So it's very, 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 very stressing for me to understand. That's the same time. So I think sabi ko hindi pa ako ready para magtrabaho ulit. So I decided to just rest, and then yun na yung time na naisip ko mag-negosyo na lang kaya ako.
So the second time around na magpapaalam ka, ilang buwan ulit to, yung gap?
5
months.
months.
So, 5 months na maganda yung offer, nakapag-saves ulit ng pera, na pwede na naman ulit
Yes.
mawalan ng trabaho ng ilang buwan, kasi may savings na ulit. So, paano dumating yung transition ng negosyo? Negosyo na ba to after ng trabaho pa?
Mayroon isa pang trabaho, pero couple of months lang din naman siya.
Hindi lang so masyado ka.
Pero that particular time na I left the company, yun yung puso ko talaga is leading to business talaga siya. Okay. So, gusto ko mag-focus sa anak ko para alagaan siya habang lumalaki siya. And then I'm thinking, what is the best business I can do from home?
Oh.
From home, only from home.
Yeah.
So our passion is travel. So I took a travel portal. So I joined like yung mga travel communities, how to earn money from home, doing travel agent, mga ganyan. So yun, I learned from there. Habang ako yung nag-aalaga ng bata, nag-aaral ako kung paano magkaroon ng travel.
Education muna?
Yes.
Ay, naras mo muna bago mo tinanong.
I joined some groups na merong mga travel community. They teach how to do travel agent, parang mga processes and everything.
Yeah.
I joined, I pay some of the training, kasi kailangan naman talaga yon. And then, yun, nakita ko yung magandang opportunity sa travel.
Okay.
But, yung in-open ko yung travel agency ko sa Pilipinas.
This is the first ever business?
First ever business I founded, yung aking travel.
Pero ang galing kasi ang sarap lang pakinggan. Ito para sa akin, very important ito, no, na bago ka pumasok sa isang negosyo, not necessarily malaking kapital, pero dapat alam mo yung papasukin mo, which is ginawa mo.
Yes.
Ang galing.
Yes.
So, tell us about, pinag-aralan mo, initial capital para dito sa first business, magkano?
10,000 pesos.
Galing. Diba?
So it's online eh. It's online.
Okay.
Online business.
Okay. So after how many months bago nabalik yung ROI?
Mabili. Actually, hindi siya nabalik kasi nag-recession. Nag-pandemic. Nag-pandemic siya. So yung time na kinuha ko yung lisensya, tsaka yung DTI sa Pilipinas, yun naman yung time na after a few months.
Walang travel. Walang mabilang biyahe.
Oh my gosh, what happened? Parang gano'n. So, okay, anyway, it's only 10,000 pesos. So it's not really that loss for me. Pero ang maganda nun, I took it as an opportunity to help the started people in the other country.
Okay.
Kahit na hindi ako kumita na masyadong malaki as expected, I earned pa rin kasi yung mga na-stranded sa ibang bansa, tapos nakapunta na ng Pilipinas, wala silang masakyang aeroplano.
Pabalik.
Pabalik.
This is more Dubai Filipino community.
everywhere.
Okay.
Kung saan mo sila galing ng ibang bansa. Noong mga
How do you kind of connect with this? Or how do you market yourself?
I market myself through Facebook, social media, and then ayun nga, yung building ng trust sa mga tao, referral din sa mga tao, I sell to go,
Okay.
to go ship, yung to go na
Yeah.
ferry, to go ferry. So yun, kasi wala kasing flights eh.
Oh.
Walang ibang mode of kung hindi ferry lang. Marami na stranded sa Pilipinas, ayan na galing sa ibang bansa. And then wala silang from Manila to their provinces, walang transportation, kundi ferry lang talaga siya. So from that particular challenge nila,
Naging
I took
opportunity
it as
sa'yo.
opportunity for me. So yung aking mga flights, tsaka down siya. So ano gagawin ko? And nag-invest ako ng little money for travel. So and then may marami akong nakikita sa mga Facebook na kailangan ng tulong, information, yung tabang information para sa pag-uwi ng Pilipinas.
Are you doing it still remotely in Dubai?
Remotely in Dubai.
Yeah.
So I learned every single information there. Na mga nakikita ko, I connected with yung mga portals ng Philippine aviation, Philippine mga coastal.
Yeah.
So inaral ko lahat ng mga information, every single information I'm saying na mahalaga. I'm keeping it with me and I'm forwarding it to the people. I'm educating them how to do it.
Ang galing.
That's how I gained their trust.
Okay.
So kumbaga, even though I'm only earning 120 pesos
Which
for
is
transaction.
not even enough to buy
Yes.
some meals from nasa Dubai ka.
Yes.
Kasi Dubai based ka, dapat ang currency.
Right.
Diba?
So parang ang nangyari niyan, every single booking which I'm having in To Go Ferry, I'm only earning 120 pesos per
So dapat
transaction.
volume na lang.
Volume walang problema. But the volume is, yung inquiries is napakadami. Like for example, since yung time zone is very, we have 4 hours at time zone difference. And then meron kaming, may mga Facebook na mga ads na ginagawa ako. And then ang inquiries ko everyday like mga 300, 400 inquiries. But ang conversion ko lang doon is lang nasa mga around, mga around 10, 20 conversions lang siya. Sa sales. Not bad. Because I'm doing the effort to educate them.
Yeah.
Pero the time I'm spending to educate them is too long until na midnight na kapag meron akong inquiry, hindi na ako natutulog kasi kailangan ko silang sagutin. So from that 500 people which is talking to me for the past 1 week, for example, only like 20 people are going to book with me.
Sige ba na burnout? No?
Of course, it's burning out. Nakaka-burn out talaga.
Kasi parang sa akin, yung effort,
Effort against the money.
Exactly.
But it's more rewarding for me actually.
Okay, kasi yung tulong lang.
Hoping that
Yun
people-
yung nakikita mo kaysa sunod sa pera.
Right.
Parang naging secondary si money.
Right. So, my intention
Galing.
was to actually help them how to go back to their provinces. Yun talaga yung pinaka-intention ko. The money is, na lang yan eh.
Parang secondary na nga, hindi na yun. Kumbaga parang I would just do this just to help these people.
Correct.
Ang galing.
Kasi, ako naman, hindi naman ako nahirapan sa pera. I still have savings.
Yeah.
Paano pa kaya yung mga tao na galing sa ibang bansa na stranded, wala ng pera, wala pang trabaho? Parang napakahirap sa kanila para mangyari yung ganung buhay sa kanila during pandemic. So I tried to take it as, as a help also to them para magawa ng paraan. And most of the people which is I assisted before still talking to me now, asking for travel assistance and all. So I gained friends, even though strangers sila. So I gained friends. They talk to me casual. They are commenting with me na thanking me for whatever support na I gave it to them nung mga panahon na kailangan sila.
Ang galing. So, ano nangyayari ngayon sa business na to? Tuloy-tuloy pa rin to?
Yes.
So, lumaki ba? So, from now is 5 years after ng pandemic, nasaan na ngayon yung first ever business?
Yeah, so travel is the first business I have opened. That is in 2021.
Okay.
And then the next year, so I saw an opportunity na mas okay yung travel kapag meron akong partner na HR recruitment company because it's deployment. So if I have a partner agency which is for deployment, galing sa ibang Pilipinas o sa ibang bansa, so it's volume for me. So for me, volume of travel will convert to volume of sales. So yun yung aking strategy doon. So that's why the following year, nagkaroon ako ng HR recruitment company.
Okay. Which is symbiotic na.
Yes, symbiotic na siya. So, ginawa ko siyang synergy. So, parang for me to be able to sell more bookings, I have to have my own HR company. So, whatever kumpanya na magkatras sa akin, they can also, divert their environment sa travel. So, ganun ang ginawa ko. And the following year, inibak ko na naman ulit siya. So, I diversified also with the manpower outsourcing deployment as well. Yung mga temporary na mga employment, which is freelancers.
So, this is now for the Filipino community in Dubai or what's the opportunity? So, halo na.
siya. So,
Pero parang ang binibigyan mo ng opportunity ngayon, not only for Filipino communities, but anyone. Galing.
anybody like Indians,
Oo.
Pakistans, any nation, even Russians, European as well.
So, how many people do you employ now?
I think I employed more than 1,000 already. 1,000 people with different industries as well.
Galing.
And
So, sa lahat ng umbrella to ng business mo,
sa lahat
ng
ng
businesses.
HR and travel. Travel, I think we already booked if I'm not mistaken, around siguro mga 3,000.
So, three things you're doing, right? So, this is the HR and in the travel, and the other one in this other services.
Events. We have events.
So, that's three services.
Yeah, 3 services.
O, three companies under one company.
3 activities under one company.
Okay.
So, yun po. Bali, yung sa sa HR ko naman, I have diversified it as an outsourcing manpower. So, I got an opportunity to assist with TV shows, big titles here in Dubai. And I supply like makeup artists, hairdressers,
Ang galing.
in Dubai Bling sa Netflix also. And then, I have also opportunity to work with Shark Tank Dubai as well in Dubai TV. And then, supplying the production assistant and helpers also in the production set. And some astronaut, American-based company, I have supplied for them first aid nurse and also interpreter.
Galing.
Arabic to English.
Galing.
And some people are also, I'm deploying them as an outsourced temporary staff. Whatever they need, whatever they want as a model or as a helper or as a cleaner or as a beautician. So whatever they require, they always I'm their go-to person para mag-supply ng mga taon sa kanila, and which is helping the people na freelancer here, because I have a pool of freelancer here in Dubai already. Wherever I have a project, I can always call them. If they're available, I would deploy them to the shoot.
So, when you say events, are you covering weddings or private events? Or this is corporate events?
Corporate events. It's mainly corporate events and TV shows as well. And the recent one I have assisted is the Final Pitch Dubai, which is a Filipino-owned production company.
Ang galing.
So they had just launched it on OSN Plus recently. It's a very big production. They have multiple mga business owners na mga startups to pitch their ideas, also models to investors. And then it's a very nice TV production. The same thing as Shark Tank Dubai. So
anong pakaramdam ng isang negosyanteng mahigit 1,000 ang empleyado at 1,000 pamilya ang umaasa sa company mo ngayon?
Iko-correct ko lang, yung 1,000 na yun was hired by me as a recruitment company.
Okay.
So, but they are actually a place in the different company where they are
Understand.
because I'm doing recruitment.
Okay.
So, I'm the
But current employees
Yes.
na empleyado mo ngayon.
assist ko. I mean, I help them to get a job.
Okay.
So-
So, in terms of your team itself, nasa company
My
mo?
team, I have a team remotely in the Philippines also.
So, how many of you? Sorry.
I have 2 interns at the moment. I have also 2 interns here in Dubai. 2 admin here in Dubai remotely.
So
I work.
5 of you so far on the team?
Yeah, we work remotely only.
Up.
So we don't exhaust ourselves to pay for a higher end. It's not economical. So if we can do work only by work, because now it's a time to work remotely. So why not utilize the people, especially the young talents also. So sa Pilipinas, I'm actually I hired 2 interns there
Okay.
who's still studying, but they are helping me with the social media and all. So
Galing.
to also help them train while they are studying in the Philippines. So.
Napakagaling. So, doon sa mga achievement mo, in the next 5 years' time, where do you see yourself?
Hopefully, the business will still grow. Hindi siya madali. Until I cannot tell that I'm a CEO, to be honest. I always tell this to the people na I cannot call myself as a CEO because being a CEO is a responsibility. It's a big organization because I came from a company which is a very, very big multi-billion-dollar company. So I can see the burden or the challenges of the real CEO in managing the organization. My company is baby company.
Yes.
Hindi siya organization. I have multiple activities.
Yeah.
I help many people, thousands of people, hundreds of people. But then again, I cannot see myself as the CEO, which is
You prefer to call yourself an
I
entrepreneur?
call myself as a founder, as an entrepreneur. So yun ang aking parang gustong mai-label for now until I achieve the target which I have set for myself. Ito yung time na pwede ko siya sabihin na CEO na talaga ako.
So when do you think this is gonna... So, what is the target in terms of goal setting
Siguro
of that to become a CEO?
Financial siguro. Financial siguro maybe if I'm already nasa ceiling ako ng corporate tax kasi in the UAE,
Yeah.
to be able to eligibility ng corporate tax, kinakailangan you are each at least 3 million already of your turnover, yung
A
revenue
year.
mo. Not a year, as an accumulated one, if you reach that one. In the UAE kasi, there are two ways for you to identify you are as established entrepreneur.
So when you say turn around na 3
3
million,
million.
how many, is it the whole year's
Accumulated.
revenue? Kaya nga, sa loob ng isang taon.
Hindi, pwede naman siya isang taon, pwede siyang
So when you hit
3
that,
years, yeah.
that's what you considered. Oh, I see.
Correct. So, parang ang mangyayari niya, kasi we have like two types of VAT in here. We have VAT. You are eligible only to have the VAT in here if you reach your revenue, like for example, for 380,000.
Yeah, so you have
It's the usual. Then you have to register for tax filing.
Okay.
If you reach that one, which I have already, it means that you are now eligible because you have reached the target.
Yeah.
And then,
So you bought registered company already.
yes.
Okay.
And then yung
The next level
corporate
of that.
tax naman, the corporate tax naman is an annual return, which wherein kailangan mo siyang i-declare na yung earnings mo is more than 3 million para talaga masabi na you are eligible na entity na kumpanya. So wala pa tayong doon.
I would say,
Para
malapit na yan.
sa level of
Malapit.
ginagawa pa ng paraan. Paraan na sana magtuloy-tuloy yung level na yun. Pero for now, nandun pa lang tayo sa sa medium, I mean small to medium na level. We're in the goal here is not only to to have the company in ourselves for the family. It's more on actually diversifying it to give more work for the people. It's because that's what I do as an HR.
Yeah.
So I recruit people for my clients. And then I source for them people. They will hire the person directly. They will give their own visa for the company. And then I also deploy temporary workers. So if I'm going to accumulate that one, it's already hundreds of people which I have helped. But then again, sa kanila yun. Hindi sa akin. Hindi sa kumpanya ko. So for me, still my team is very, very small team. But the vision that we are actually
Just giving the job for the people, di ba? Kasi ikaw yung muka nung humaharap dun sa mga para mabigyan sila ng trabaho, sa'yo pa rin dadaan yan eh. Kasi ang laking responsibility as an HR, para ngayon, di ba? Para mabigyan mo ng trabaho yung mga tao. So ngayon, opportunity para sa mga Pilipino, siguro na lang.
Well, madami. Actually, the Filipino here, very, versatile naman talaga sila in terms of trabaho. So, the only challenge nowadays in Dubai is medyo, ang competition is very high.
Okay.
Because unlike before, maraming oportunidad. Pero ngayon,
Ang daming,
kukunti na lang kasi marami ng mga pumupuntang galing sa ibang bansa. Like, the Russians are here, Indians are prominent here, we have Bangladesh, Africans also are already
Coming.
And they are getting cheap salaries. So, yun yung mga challenges that Filipinos are facing at the moment. So, kaya we like my team, Grace and the other partner na we're trying to build some sort of like founders sana.
Yeah.
Na kung hindi mo sila makahanap ng trabaho sa corporate world, at least we will be able to assist them to build their own
galing.
company. Simula lang. Kasi we felt the challenge eh. They've been there. So, parang mas mainam siguro na we can also share kung paano magsimula and then help them to learn unti-unti kung ano yung dapat nilang matutunan na wala, unlike us na nagkakamali or namimik yung mga ibang mga tao na hindi naman dapat. So, at least, we can be able to guide them the way how to start their own business.
Okay, so mensahe na lang doon sa batang version ni Ma'am. Kung makakausap mo siya ngayon at anong gusto mong sabihin sa kanya?
Well, to Batang Janice, siguro I would say that thank you for all your patience and hard work for the past years of your life. So, hindi madali lahat na pinagdaanan mo. There's a lot of people na, sometimes challenging you how to achieve it. But then again, you surpass it with grace. And then, hindi lang with grace you actually believe in yourself and the passion that you can be able to do. And then you can also able to help others. Yun yung pinakamahalaga talaga na I think na masabi ko kay Batang Janice na you did a good job in terms of, helping people because that's your mission. Your mission is to help the people to get the job, and then you want to help more people to get more jobs, whether it's in corporate or in companies or whether they want to have their own business. So, good job to you, and then hopefully, meron ka paling strength to give more to others as well.
Galing. Ganda naman. So, sa ating mga kababayan na maaaring nakakapanood o makakapanood nitong videos na to, 'di ba? Na talaga namang pagod na. Any message for them?
Sa mga kababayan ko sa Pilipinas, lahat naman tayo napapagod, especially nowadays that the government is really having, a challenging time for us, for everybody. So, siguro advice ko lang sa inyo is to always keep your spirits high because at the end of the day, you are having your own family, and as a mother, as a father, you are responsible to a good upbringing for your children. And then whatever it takes, whether it's the Philippines or whether you are going to other country, ang pinakamahalaga na sa lahat is magkaroon kayo ng lakas ng loob para lahat ng problema masurpass yung mga problema sa buhay. At kung mayroong oportunidad para makapagtrabaho sa ibang bansa, siguro ang pinaka-best way is to take the opportunity and then, try to be confident on yourself always.
Ang galing. Yan. Ang ganda. Thank you. Naman sa mga kababayan nating OFW, ang daming mga kababayan natin na maaring may pinagdadaanan na sobrang mabigat. 'Di ba? Na parang yung iba parang pakiramdam. Eh, kumaga, 'di ba? Sobrang bigat na parang uwi na lang ako sa Pilipinas. Maraming ganun eh. Anong mabibigay mong advice?
Sa mga OFW na kababayan namin sa Dubai, alam namin kung gaano kahirap talaga, especially yung mga household workers ito sa UAE, sa Dubai. So, ang advice ko lang sa kanila is hangga't maaari, tatagal po na rin yung loob nila habang nagtrabaho dito, and then bigyan nila ng kanilang prayer lang siguro, yung indasal sa kanila na lahat ng mga bagay na pinapagdaanan nila is malalagpasan nila yung mga problema sa buhay nila. And kung may kinakailangan silang tulong, palagi namang available ang ating mga konsulado para tumulong sa kanila. Basta kinakailangan lang nilang maging transparent din sa government para matulungan sila ng tama ng government.
Galing. Ma'am. Oh, thank you. Ang ganda nun. So, ma'am, yung mga, baka may oportunidad na mga Pilipino na gustong maghanap ng trabaho at baka may matutulong kayo mabigyan ng trabaho, saan mahahanap ang sa HR companies ninyo?
Yes.
Ma'am, that's your time.
All right. Yes, to all the Filipinos kabayans here in Dubai or in UAE, kung kailangan niyo po ng tulong sa paghanap ng trabaho, you can contact our company, GBS. It's Guzman Business Services. GBS Talent World is our brand operating name. And you can reach us po sa email hr@gbs-uae.com, or you can see us po sa Instagram po namin na gbs.talentworld. So, you can look also my profile sa LinkedIn, Mary Janice Bufi Guzman, and also in our Facebook page as well, in Mary Janice Bufi Guzman as well. So kung kailangan niyo po ng tulong, you can always reach out to me. Hanggat kaya po natin makatulong sa mga tao, we will do it for you.
Galing. Maraming salamat, ma'am. At talagang napakaganda ng usap. So maraming salamat sa oras at obviously such a honor for us to share your story.
Thank you so much.
So sobrang nakaka-inspire kung nasaan kayo ngayon. Talaga naman nakakatawa at I'm sure lahat ng mga kapanood may inspire sa story niya.
Salamat po.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, ayan mga ka-GSS, maraming salamat ulit sa panonood at sana po ay nakapulot ng aral at inspirasyon. At kung kayo po ay nag-enjoy at may natutunan, pakishare po yung video sa ating mga kababayan para mas may matutunan pa at may inspire pa ang ating mga kababayang OFW. Maraming salamat po at hanggang sa muli.